Welcome back to LDB Games. I'm Lord Darth Balls. Today I'm bringing you another Raid Shadow Legends video. And guys, in today's video, we are going to go through how I take down Iragoth, the Eternal Dragon. Before we do that, it's still a ×2. Let's start off with a real quick 10 pull, see if we can get some double epics. Triple. This guy helped. Ooh, I really need him. All right, cool. Great way to start our video. Let's get into who we're facing and what skills we're going to have to deal with. So let's talk about what skills we're going to have to deal with. You'll see that they labeled him multi-affinity. In this video, we're going to be doing floor 40 on the hard Doom Tower. So we're going to be dealing with the Void Affinity, which is nice. We don't have to worry about weak hits. All of his abilities are AoE attacks. The first one will place a block cooldown skills debuff for 1 turn. Second one will inflict bonus damage based on your champion's skill cooldowns. So if you just used an ability, has a 4-turn cooldown, that will do an extra 80% of damage. If you don't have any skills on cooldown, it will place a fear debuff on you. His A3 puts all enemy skills on cooldown, fills Iragoth's turn meter by 5% for every turn remaining on your champion's skill cooldown. Okay, he has a number of passives. These two passives both have cooldowns on them, but they cannot be manipulated. The first one, Conjures Souls, will summon 3 minions at the start of the turn. You'll get 1 priest and 2 guards. Only 3 minions, and you can't block their revives. So even if you take one out with a block revive, he will still be resurrected when this passive comes around. If you don't kill them all, and he only pulls one minion or none, as in you didn't kill any of them, it'll place an Eternal Rage on him for 2 turns. You don't want this, right? Because the Eternal Rage increases Iragoth's speed, causes Iragoth to ignore unkillable block damage and shield buffs, and ignores 50% of the target's defense when attacking. So Eternal Rage will essentially wipe your team pretty quickly. So the whole point is to take these minions out as quickly as possible. Right? His other passive is a mechanic related to the minions, which also has a cooldown. At the start of the turn, sacrifices an Eternal Priest, and it will reset all of Iragoth's skills and give him an extra turn. So it'll reset his skills, and he's going to throw out his A3, put all of your skills on cooldown. If you've already killed the priest, but there's still guards left, he will sacrifice one of the guards and heal by 15% of his health. You can see that this skill is on a 4-turn cooldown and will activate and go on cooldown every 5 turns, even if there are no Eternal Priests and Eternal Guards. So if you've killed all 3, this comes up, he essentially burns his passive that time around, which is very, very useful. And he also has a lot of immunities, his other passive, right? You got the standard boss immunities, stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block cooldown skills, fear, true fear. You also have to worry about this, right? You can't slow him down, you can't poison him, and you can't prevent heal reduction. You can't prevent his heals from the Eternal Guard sacrifice. Very important. You also can't do anything with this turn meter, just like the other dragon. So, no turn meter reduction, no decreased speed, no heal reduction. Really important things to worry about, right? So now we know what skills we're going to have to deal with. Let's talk about who I chose for my team and why. So before we get into my team, real quick, let's go through the minions kits. They're simple, but very important to understand. They both only have A1 abilities. So decreasing cooldowns, block cooldown skills, it doesn't have any effect on them. The priest will place a block cooldown skills debuff for 2 turns, which is a bit more detrimental than Iragoth's A1. When you kill him, however, it will reset all of your champion's skills, which is very, very important. So the timing of when you kill the priest is part of the strategy for taking down the dragon. The guard has a little bit different of a mechanic. He'll place an AoE decreased defense debuff on your team, and if they have a block cooldown skills debuff, whether it's from the Eternal Priest A1 or Iragoth's A1, it'll also place a provoke. Now this is huge because this will lock out your champion's skills and abilities for an entire turn. Any turn you lose against the dragon is a turn that he has the ability to do more damage to you. Now on top of that, he has a passive, and there are two of them, remember. So even if you take one out, this passive is still active. It will decrease the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks by 75%. So I used Royal Guard early on in my attempts, and his AoE, when these guys are up, it does nothing. It's like a little tickle to the enemies. Which is why I chose single target damage dealer for my composition, because it's not affected by this passive. Whether these guys are up or down, my damage dealer will do damage. Iragoth is one of the most important pieces of this team. The reason being, Iragoth is immune to a tremendous amount of control abilities that you have available in this game. The only one that he is not immune to is putting his skills on cooldown. And Iragoth's A2 Dead Stop will put both skills on a full 3-turn cooldown, and it has its own 3-turn cooldown, which is exactly what we need. Now, every now and then, Iragoth will get his A1 off and land a block cooldown skills on Iragoth, which is why I have him in Relentless. That chance to get an extra turn will proc, and he will come back with his A2, ready to lock out Iragoth's skills. In addition, Iragoth also has his A3, not his most important ability, but very important for controlling the minions. This will decrease enemies' turn meter by 20%, well, has a 75% chance, and can decrease it further if he has low health, which is pretty big. You want to control those adds. You don't want the minions getting their abilities off, because it'll either lock you out or increase the damage Iragoth is going to do to you. So this will help you prevent them from getting a turn, so you can kill them faster. So obviously one of the most important things is having high enough accuracy. If I had the gear, I would absolutely get his resistance over 250, because that block cooldown skills on Iragoth's A1, that can be resisted. Okay, I have him just over 200 speed. He's got to be going fast enough to keep up with the dragon, and I have a decent amount of HP and defense. Defense could be a little higher, but he does have a very nice passive, which can prevent him from dying. So he has a nice way to keep himself alive, just in case he gets hit real hard. For the lead in my team, I chose Duchess. She has a 19% speed aura in all battles, which is a massive buff, especially considering that you cannot control Iragoth's speed or turn meter. So I'll take all the speed that I can get. I have her in for her revive. Obviously, the 70% HP, the Veil, and the heals are huge, because Iragoth, when he gets his big hits, they hurt. Shield mechanic on her A1 is pretty useful. It does help mitigate some of the incoming damage, especially when a champion is low on health. But her A2 is the real reason that she's in this. So not only does she have the perfect Veil to reduce incoming damage, but she also adds the block debuffs, which, paired with Iragoth's A2, Iragoth only has his A1 to use under the right circumstances, so this block debuffs will prevent that block cooldown skills from landing on my champions and locking them out. Obviously, it's only 2 turns, and with Relentless on Iragoth, sometimes the RNG kind of throws it out, but this will protect my team, I would say, about 75% of the fight, which is huge. And how could I forget Duchess's passive? Another really important reason she's in my team. Her passive, Ethereal Ways, decreases the damage taken by all allies from AoE attacks. And remember, all of Iragoth's skills are AoE abilities. So you will straight up decrease that damage by 15%, which is massive. Let's talk about her stats. I have her high resistance, so that she can resist as much as possible. High defense, high HP, and I have her running super fast, so that she can stay ahead of everyone. Now, I have Bad L in my team. A lot of you may wonder, why did I choose Bad L, right? Iragoth is immune to poison. The minions are not immune to poison. And remember, one of the most important things is to take those minions out as fast as possible. So not only does the poison help add damage that I do to the minions, but also the poison will do damage, helping to take those minions down as fast as possible. Doom Priest would probably be a better fit here for the passive cleanse, because this gets locked out by Iragoth's A1 sometimes. I don't have high enough resist on him. I'm working on that. But I also need the heals. I can't survive with just Doom Priest. These continuous heals and this passive heal on his A1 are super important for my survival in this fight. So let's take a look at his stats, right? I built him with high enough accuracy to land the poisons on the ads. He does need a bit more resistance. He will still resist that block cooldown skills buffs, and it's really nice when he does, because then I can just cleanse that off of everyone else. Good defense, decent HP, and he's running fast, because I want that ability to come back. I also have him in a relentless set. Not relentless, reflex set, so that this A2 can reset faster, and I can use it more frequently. Coming in as one of the debuffers is Tyrell. He also does quite a bit of damage because he can hit pretty hard, which is really nice. But the reason he's in this composition is for his AoE decreased defense and his A1 decrease attack. Iragoth does a tremendous amount of damage, so anything that we can do to mitigate what's coming in is very important. This being on his A1 means it cannot get locked out. So even if Iragoth lands the block cooldown skills, I still have my A1 decrease attack to decrease that incoming damage. The AoE for the decreased defense is really important as well for the minions, right? You want to be able to take them down as fast as possible, and having that AoE decreased defense will not only help you increase your damage output to the dragon himself, but take those minions down as fast as possible. He does have a little bit of control in here, which will come in really useful against the minions, because again, we don't want those minions getting their turn. As far as stats go, you can see I have him with very good accuracy. I've got him up in the 3000s of defense, some decent HP. He could be faster. He's fast enough. I do have Duchess's speed aura, which is really nice. And you see I actually have him at 100% crit rate. Crit damage is a little low, but he still hits pretty decently hard. Which is really nice. For DPS, I'm bringing in none other than Rotos the Lost Groom. Now, I missed this fusion. This happened before I started playing the game. However, I was fortunate to pull this guy a few months ago because he is a beast. He can do some tremendous damage. He has the extra turn ability on both his A1 and his A3, as well as his passive. I threw him in a relentless set for even more extra turns because the more damage this guy can do, the better. Unfortunately, the block revive doesn't work on the minions, but the damage that he gets from his A2 can start to one-shot those minions at the end, like towards the end of the fight, which is huge because you want to get them down. The faster you take out the minions, the faster you can start doing damage to the dragon himself. And that's another reason why Relentless is so key on Rotos, because he can just get turn after turn after turn, rip damage into everyone that you're fighting. In terms of stats, I got him obviously 100% crit rate, over 200% crit damage. He's got over 4k attack. His HP is a bit low, but he still smacks right now. And I would rather have him in Relentless gear than try to max his HP. I didn't bother going accuracy. I know he has decreased defense on his A1. However, with Tyrell in the mix, that 100% decreased defense on an AoE, I'm good with that. Alright, now for the main event, let's take on Iragoth, the Eternal Dragon. Now, I leave it on auto to start. I do, however, take it off auto when I get towards the end of Wave 2. And there's one really important reason for that, and it is Elagaius' A2. I want to have Elagaius' A2 back by the start of the round against the boss, so I can immediately lock out his skills. So I'm going to clip this, and I'm going to bring you back in when we get to the boss fight. Alright, so here we are against the dragon, right? I've set it up so that I have essentially all of my abilities back at the start. Kick it off with Duchess, and you'll see he has his A2. Boom. He now cannot use either of his big abilities, which is massive, right? I don't want to use the poisons yet. Iragoth is immune. I don't want to use decreased defense because the minions are not up, but I do want to drop that damage, right? So now I have Veils, I got block debuffs, and I have decreased attack. Let's just hope Rotos doesn't get in a couple extra turns. Beautiful. Minions come up, attack comes out. I blocked all of those cooldown skills, which is nice. So now we have the minions up, right? The priest is the first target. Now, these guys change locations, which is kind of annoying. The priest is not always here. Just something to be aware of. So, you know, when you're going through, you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. I do want my poisons on them, one for extra damage. I mean, mainly for extra damage, and it gives me those heals. Let's put that decreased defense on both the dragon and the minions now. All right, and we now take out the priest, get all my skills back. Let's start taking out, ooh, almost there. You can see he can start one-shotting with most of his abilities towards the end of the fight. Okay, second one down. I do want to cleanse the cooldown ability, the block cooldown skills. Okay, and I do want to throw that block debuffs up. He's getting his turn pretty soon. Okay, let's see if we can stun him. Yep, we got the stun out on the ad. Beautiful. He's down. Okay, beautiful. Now we have a couple extra turns before the dragon actually resurrects all of his minions. And you'll see Rotos can just go through his broken, beautiful setup. Here we are. Dead Stop is back. This is when you want to use it, when they both have one turn left. If I don't use this ability now, these skills will reset, and he will come at me with his A3, which I don't want, because that A3 resets all of my skills. You'll see Rotos with his extra turn lost the block debuffs. Happens all the time with that Relentless. One of the problems, but it's workable. It's also the reason that I would prefer a Doom Priest in for Bad Al, but like I said, I just don't have the heals or probably the HP levels to do that. So this is pretty much it right here. It's a little bit of a grind, but as long as you're using the right skills at the right time, it's just a matter of time until this dragon goes down. All right, here we are at the end. He's close. He's low on health. The minions are down right now. They're probably about to get picked back up. You can see I just procced Relentless, which gave me Dead Stop back. Perfect timing. That's the reason I have him in Relentless. Let's see if we can finish this guy off. Nice, 100k hit, beautiful. That's okay. I think we're close enough where it won't matter too much, I should say. Just got to make sure we use the right abilities at the right time. Beautiful, 45. Okay, minions are back up. Block cooldowns. I need the decreased attack on him. Although he's pretty close at this point, I may be able to just target him and take him out. Take that turn meter down a little bit on the minions. Throw that Dead Stop out. Got that extra turn. Relentless proc again. Beautiful. And here we are with the final hit. Boom. He is down. There we go, guys. You can see Rotos is the MVP for damage. Tyrell coming in second. He does quite a bit of damage to the ads and the dragon himself. You got Bad Al, massive heals over here, as well as poison damage. And there you have it, guys. That's what I got for you. What did you think of the Eternal Dragon? I thought this was very difficult. This took me quite a bit of time to figure out how to beat, to design my team, and to get their stats up to the par that they needed to beat this. Did you guys use a different strategy, different champions, different composition? Let me know in the comments. If you like my video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will be coming out with more content. And guys, I've been Lord Darth Balls. We just took down the Eternal Dragon. I'll catch you guys next time.